My name is Ramona. I'm a knitter from Toronto, and welcome to my corner of the crafting world. Today we're going to have finished objects, works in progress, stash enhancement, and I guess the rest of life. So I'll start with my finished objects. I told you last week I was determined to have something finished. Yes, I think I did. So I actually managed to finish a pair of socks. Yes, I finished my Castiel socks. Done. Both feet done. And the funny thing is, I wasn't certain how much I really liked the different heel cuffs and toes, but when it's finished, I love it. It's awesome. So the yarn is from Gnome Makers in the House Gnome base in the colorway Castiel, hence the name. You can see how much I finished because I was doing these two at a time. So where you saw that stitch marker was the... Sorry, if you hear that, I apologize. I believe my neighbor's doing something in their backyard. But where you see the stitch marker here, that is where I was last time, and I just finished it off. I haven't put it up on Ravelry yet, but I will get to that very soon. So that's my only finished object. Works in progress. Since I finished my socks, my Castiel socks, the only thing I have is my socks, the Strangling Vine socks designed by Buhr. The yarn I'm using is Woolen Vines Footsie Base in the colorway Pandora. You can see right there where the stitch marker was. That's where I was last week, and that's how much I've made it since. But since I finished off a pair of socks, I still think that's pretty darn good. I'm actually in the middle of a row, but it's okay. It's a nice manageable section. So let me just close that up so that I don't lose my needles. Which reminds me, I feel like I need to buy more soft needles because I feel like I'm running low. I already have the first sock of this finished. I'm just waiting to get to the point that I get to the heel of this so I get to finish it off. And that's pretty much it, honestly, for the stuff that I've been knitting on. I didn't pick up my sweater at all. So it's still sitting in a bag. There's nothing else I really worked on. I didn't dye any yarn or anything like that. But I did say I was going to show my sweater that I was working on from quite some time ago. It's my, it's inside this lovely Star Wars bag. I don't remember who I got the bag from. Let me double check to see if there's a label. I don't think there is, though. No, there's no kind of labeling. It's got a fun, like, Millennium Falcons and all that kind of stuff on inside. So my project that I have is my Featherweight cardigan. The one that I found on my... Why didn't I finish this thing? So, it is good progress. Put it this way, no progress has been made on it since I put it away last year. So, hold on. Let me get this so it looks like how it's supposed to. Alright, so there it is from the front. But it's easier to show you from the back. I've definitely separated for the sleeves. I'm working my way down. I think I'm almost at the point of my ribbing. So I was using three colors of yarn for this. I couldn't tell you which one they all are. I know the top one is Wool Me's. I'm not certain if it's the colorway. It's either Elsa or Sabrina. It's a weird different skein though. I have had it for a while and they both got mislabeled and I'm never certain which one is which. I think the white is Lion Brand's sock yarn in the colorway Marshmallow or something. This is what I used to try to dye my original sets of dyed yarn. This is the yarn that I used for that. This yarn is one that I had gotten. I had won it from the Canadian knitter a couple years back, I think. So here's the color. I don't remember what it's called. It just looks like a beautiful turquoisey color. But I'm looking on the screen and it looks like completely blue. I don't know if it will fix itself in post. Pull it back. No, still looks blue to me. Could be my eyes. I don't know. So that's what I have. And I'm still going. No, I'm not still going. I need to hurry up and finish this thing. I'd be happy if I managed to get the ribbing done. Because once the ribbing is done, then the rest of it is pretty much the collar and then the sleeves. Those are the only other two things that I would have to worry about. So let's stuff it back into the bag that it can barely fit into. Close enough. So that's it for works and projects and finished objects. So it's time for stash enhancements. So last week I was complaining about Canada Post taking so long to drop off my package. It came the next day. So on Wednesday, I got my new knitting bag. This is from Knit One Crochet 2 on Etsy. She is a bag designer in Saskatchewan, Regina. I will hold on. Let's do the easy thing. Yes. So here's her card. You can see that. It came really. Put it this way. It came pretty good considering. But I'm pretty certain, like, I got the notification of it being shipped almost the next day, so it's not the seller's fault. It's pretty much Canada Post. Welcome to Canada. So I had gotten a little Notions bag with TARDISes all over it, and I got this bag, which is a sock bag, which has a Tea Party set. I believe it's all based on Alice in Wonderland, and I love this bag. I think it's great. So the inside is just pink fabric with gold polka dots on the inside. It's got a decently wide base, so you can really fit a good amount there, I think. And it's got handles. Handles are always good for when you want to just walk and knit at the same time. The inside, actually, I don't think I actually opened up the inside of this Notions bag. It's red fabric. There you go. So that's one new stash. On Saturday, I was hanging out with my sister. This is while we were practicing for that song I told you about. And I was showing her pictures of the yarn that I dyed, and she says, "Oh, I want you to dye me some yarn," which also means I also have to knit her another pair of socks. She asked for, I think there was purple, I can't remember the other color, and she said, and sparkles. So that means when I had to go in today to go pick up my other thing, I had to make sure I bought the appropriate yarn for her. So sorry for the crimping, because I didn't actually take it out of the bag. Didn't think of doing that in advance. So I got 2 skeins of undyed yarn with gold stellina. You can see that. I don't know if you can. Okay. So I got 2 skeins of it. There wasn't any with nylon in it, so I'm hoping that the merino and stellina would be okay. I don't know, because the only other option was with cashmere, and that really didn't seem like that would be much better than what I already have. So I've got 2 skeins of that. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to dyeing it, but I will. So this yarn, at least 1 skein of it is designated for my sister. The other thing that I got was because last week I ran out of yarn. I went and I got myself another code. Yay! So I guess I'll start scanning that up at some point this week. Or not putting into balls at least at some point this week. And I don't know if I'm going to start dyeing again this week or next week, because well, the reason I'm recording it so early is because I have a lot to do tomorrow, so I don't think my usual time that I would do it for will work out too well. I'll talk more about that afterwards. My other acquisition is something one of my cousins made for me. She actually does have an Etsy shop as well where she sells soap, handmade soaps. So that's what she brought for me. It's still wrapped up in the saran wrap, but it's an activated charcoal soap. Honestly, I have no idea what that does, but it doesn't even have a smell, so that's good for me, because I'm not a big fan of scented things like soaps and perfumes and that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to try this. I'll try that later on today. So thank you, Tandy. So I believe that is everything that I have that is knitting related. So I guess I'll go on to what's been happening this week, or since the last time we spoke. I don't know if I told you guys, but I had gotten a cell phone from my cousin. She had upgraded her phone, and she decided to give me her old iPhone. I was more than ecstatic to get it, because my cell phone progression was pretty much a BlackBerry Pearl to an iPhone 4S, which was awesome. And then my 4S decided it didn't want to work anymore, and I got a Samsung phone, but it was like a Note or something like that. It didn't have, there was a lot of stuff that it couldn't do that I wanted it to do. And then I got down to a Sony a Sony Xperia. Yeah, texting on that thing is painful. You can't really do all that much on it. I couldn't stand it. So my cousin has given me her iPhone 5S. That's fine. My only issue with it is that it doesn't have as much gigabytes as I'd like, but a free phone is a free phone. I'm not going to complain. So I was trying to put the new SIM card inside that phone so I can get to switch everything over, but I didn't think about it properly before I did it. So I put the SIM card in without using the tray and got the SIM card stuck in there. I decided to go to an Apple store that I have close by my workplace, and they were able to take the SIM card out. So, well, he came up to me and he's like, I got good news and bad news. I'm like, okay. Good news is we got the SIM card out. I'm like, yes, that's great. Bad news is while I did it, I broke the screen, so we're going to have to replace that for you, free of charge, of course. They're like, okay, that's great. How long is that going to take? About an hour or so. It shouldn't be so bad. I'm like, okay, great. Because at this point I had purchased tickets to go see, I was planning on going to go see Wonder Woman on Thursday. Awesome movie. But, so I'm like, okay, the showing is happening at, 12:30. I have to be out of here by 12:30 to get to the movie theater on time. He's like, yes, no problem, but let's just do a diagnostic and find out what else is wrong with you, if anything else is wrong with your phone. Yeah, the battery on the phone was pretty much about to kaput. So that would cost extra money. I have the money to pay for that, so that's not the issue. The issue is that would take even longer to do. And I'm like, I don't have the time for that. I have somewhere I have to go. So he's like, okay, so I'll put the stuff aside for you, as long as you come back within 5 days to do it. So I now have an iPhone that's sitting down there with a cracked screen and a screen protector that's way too big, just trying to hold it all in place so I don't lose the glass pieces. So tomorrow, after I finish work, I'm going to be going to the Apple store to get my phone fully fixed. I don't know what I'm going to be sitting down there doing in the mall for 2 to 3 hours, because there's no more movies that I actually want to see in the theaters that are out now, so that cuts that out. So, maybe I'll just hang out in Indigo with knitting and a book or something like that. We'll have to see. So, that was one of the major things that happened to me. The other thing was, last week was preparation for my grandfather's surprise 88th birthday party. He was pleasantly surprised yesterday. All he was told on the day of was that my cousin was coming with his kids, and they want to spend some time with you for your birthday because they weren't able to be there last week. So of course he gets himself ready, and other people start coming in. Pretty certain by now he's probably suspicious. I didn't really ask, but I missed the grand entrance. My grandfather's little brother, who is taller than he is, came and surprised my grandfather. That's Uncle Charles. Uncle Charles lives in New Jersey. Uncle Charles found out about the party. Uncle Charles got on a plane and flew to Canada just to come for the party. So my grandfather was really happy. Uncle Charles was actually hiding out at my dad's house out in Brantford. So I got to see him the day before. So I knew he was coming. I found out from the week before. So my grandfather was very pleasantly surprised, and when I got a chance to talk to him and I asked him how he was, how happy he was with the party, he didn't even answer me back. He just had a huge grin on his face the entire time. So that was good. We had probably around 50 people at our house yesterday. It's not hard to get to 50 people, considering the amount of people I have that live in my house, plus the amount of people that live at my dad's house. And then you throw in the cousins, and some of them only one of them is older than me. The next one after me, he has 3 kids. They all have, our family is literally growing. So if you just throw in actual family, it's a lot of people. Plus there's other people who consider my grandfather like their family, so they came along as well, and that was only a very small portion of them. So our house was full. My mother was running around trying to do everything. I've come to the conclusion that whenever there's something happening at our house, my mother, in a sense, spazzes out with doing 3 million things that half of which she probably doesn't need to do. And it's not one of those things where it really matters whether or not you step in and help, because she's still going to be stressed out by it. So, my approach was, I'm just going to sit down, try, talk her down from a ledge, and make sure I'm there to help clean up at the end of the day. Yeah, so we did that. Me and my brother, this morning, we got up, and he started cleaning. I had to go out. I went to go get the yarn I was telling you about, and then I came back, and we cleaned up everything. So hopefully by the time she comes home tonight, she'll be okay. She'll be happy and very surprised that her house is actually clean now. So, is there anything else? So that was pretty much the weekend, other than, getting a chance to hang out with my sister. Um, yeah, I still think she's absolutely adorable. My two brothers came, my two youngest brothers. They were, my brother RJ had fun. His main goal for the day, or not necessarily his main goal, but the main thing he did for the time he was at my house yesterday was basically measuring his height against everybody. So he stopped doing that to me because there's like no point. There's nothing that can be done. It's already been determined by everybody. I will be the shortest person in my family because I'm 5'1". I got a brother who's turning 28. He's like 5'10". I got my brother RJ who's turning 16. I'm not certain if he's 6'2" or 6'3". I got my other brother who's probably about 5'9" by now, 5'8", 5'9". That's the youngest brother, and then there's my little sister who is turning 9. And she comes up to probably about my shoulder. So I'm the oldest and the shortest, and I have to learn to just live with it. There's nothing that can be done about that. But I got no issue with it. My brothers know being short has nothing to do with it. I'll take them down. So that's pretty much it. They did pretty good. My youngest brother, he was social. I'm very proud of him. Because he did have some family friends who also came over, and he hung out with because they have a daughter who's around the same age as him, who's known him pretty much. They've known each other like their entire lives, so he was good. He had somebody to talk to, so it was quite cute because he was showing her how to do stuff on his phone and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I have my cousin came with his 3 kids, his oldest daughter. She's a very creative child, always asking me about what I'm knitting. She wanted to see my sock drawer. I don't think I put up a picture of that. I had put it up on my Instagram last week, or the week before that. So I'm going to try it and insert a picture of it here. And that's with my 27 pairs. So she had fun looking in the drawer and then asked me if I could make her a pair. I'm thinking to myself, no, your feet are too big, not going to be happening anytime soon. Then she asked me what my shoe size was, and I told her, apparently we wear the same shoe size. So I was just like, dang, that means I have no excuse for not being able to knit her socks. So I'll see about what will happen for that. Her little brother had fun trying to be a ninja / spy in the house and trying to scare her. It was quite funny because she never saw him coming, but I'd see him out of the corner of my eye, and apparently I'm supposed to warn her that her little brother's on his way. And then their little sister was having a hard time because her dad came and dropped the family off, and then he had to go get his car taken care of. And apparently she was having none of that. She was with her mother the entire time, and she was still screaming out, "Daddy!" until he got back. She didn't want to smile with anybody, but it was quite funny. She's adorable. Another family friend came, and she brought me a belated birthday gift. But unfortunately it was perfume, and my skin can't take perfume. So it was nicely regifted to my aunt almost immediately. But I told the lady, she's like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, I'll just have to find something else to get for you. So I'm like, okay, she didn't have to do it, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Her youngest, he's about 18, 19 months. His name is Jude. He basically came, sat on my lap, rested his head right here, and he was good to go. Didn't cry for mommy, didn't cry for daddy, didn't cry for anything. Like, he was just such a sweetheart. I do hope I get to see him more throughout the summer because her kids grow so fast. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them later again throughout the year. So that is it for my knitting week and life in general. I am going to, I have a fan currently blowing on me. I didn't even mention that. So if you heard any excess noise that made it difficult to hear, well, I guess I'll find out during editing. I don't know if Toronto's going through some kind of a heat wave. We basically went from, cold and rainy like 2 weeks ago to, 25 plus degree weather. And I think there's a potential for rain happening for the rest of this week. So we'll see how well that goes. So since I'm sitting out in this back room with only a fan blowing on me, after I finish this, I'm going to go sprawl on my bed in a house with air conditioning, watch my knitting podcast, which I have not managed to catch up on for the past week, and knit some socks. Alright, so it was nice talking with you. Hope to see you again next week, and happy crafting!